Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jacqueline, and in today's video I'm bringing you a review and full-on day wear test on the brand new Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation as well as the Hydrating Primer. But before we get started, and if you're new here, please consider to subscribe to my channel and ring that little notification bell so you get to know whenever I upload new videos. Also, come and follow me on my Instagram. I would love to see you there. And now, if you want to know more about the foundation and the primer, just keep on watching. Okay, my friends, so here we are in another foundation review. This has been insane this month. I hope you don't get bored about all these foundation reviews. It is what it is. That's what the beauty industry is like, showering us with foundations. But this one to me is fairly important. I have been really enjoying Fenty Beauty products, and I really wanted to try the new foundation, the hydrating foundation, as well as the primer. I'm not a person of a primer, but I don't know, I was just a little bit intrigued about it, and I said, you know, why not? Let's give it a go and see how it works. I really love Fenty products. I really love the way that the brand really listens to their clients. I mean, we had waited for a long time for a hydrating foundation to come into Fenty, but most of their products have been a hit for me. I really enjoy them. And for those who are new here, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you become part of our family, and so that you know what type of person is going to be reviewing this foundation. I am a person that has mature skin. I'm in my late 30s. I do have some enlarged pores right here. I do have a little bit of freckles, very minimal sun damage, not that much, but somewhat there. I also have dry skin for the most part, with leading to normal skin on certain areas on my face. I do have sensitive skin as well as reactive skin. Right now my skin is clear of any dry patches, so I'm really happy to report that. And like I mentioned during my intro, I will be doing a full-on wear test and see how this foundation and primer works. So what about if we jump into the application of these two products? Okay, my friends, now I'm going to start applying the foundation primer situation right here. Let's see. So for the hydrating primer, this is the box that it comes with. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to apply the primer just on one side of my face. Beautiful bottle. It's kind of like a baby pink bottle. Really pretty. It's frosted on the outside. And it comes with 1 fluid ounces. It also costs $32, and the details about this primer, it is that it's a lightweight hydrating makeup primer for normal to dry skin that nurtures, keeps skin comfortable all day, and extends the foundation wear. And this product is also cruelty free. Now when you open it up, you will find a pump. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply this primer on my right hand side of my face. Okay. So the consistency is not too liquidy, and it doesn't have any particular scent to it. Okay, it's more like a lotiony type of primer. It goes completely clear, so it doesn't stay on this pink shape right here. And now for the other side of my face, I'm going to be using, as usual, my Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer, just on my pore area, but I'm not going to use it anywhere on the perimeter of my face. I do not use primers all over my face. I use from time to time this Tarte one just to kind of like diminish the look of my pores. Now going into the foundation, this is the Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation, and it comes with 1.8 fluid ounces or 32 mLs, which is just a little bit more than the typical foundation, just 0.08 ounces. It's not a lot, or 2 mls. Now the foundation costs $35. It also comes in 50 shades, just like the matte foundation by Fenty. Also, these two products, they are made in Italy, and I got the shade 260, which is my same shade as the matte foundation. Now when I open it up, the foundation comes in kind of like a squeezy type of tube. Not very elegant or luxurious per se, but I don't mind it because these will be great for traveling. It also comes with a pump, which is fantastic, so I don't mind it. And also thinking about the price, $36 is not very expensive, so I don't mind that it's in this type of packaging, although I don't know, in a way I will have liked to see something along the lines of the matte foundation. So let's see about the consistency of this foundation. Okay, so it is not runny, but it's more liquidy. And let me read you a little bit more about this foundation. It is a hydrating, long-wearing foundation that delivers comfortable, medium to full coverage in a natural finish, perfect for normal to dry skin. Highlighted ingredients, it is a grapeseed oil. This product is as well cruelty-free. It is also a long-lasting coverage foundation that will give you hydration. So for the application of this foundation, I'm going to be using the Sephora Pro Flawless Airbrush Foundation Brush. And this is number 56, and I'm just gonna tap it in, and this is about 1/4 of a pump, and I'm gonna use the foundation with a brush on half of my face. Okay, as far as first impression, the foundation looks more into the natural finish, just as it states it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use the sponge on the other side. So I'm using a beauty blender. And I'm just gonna do about, again, 1/4 of a pump. Now it is pretty obvious that with a beauty blender or any beauty sponge, you will get a lighter application because the sponge will absorb some of the product. But sometimes it does look a little bit more natural. Now I'm honestly liking the way that it applied with a brush more than with the beauty sponge. Also, I see the primer acting really well with the foundation, the Fenty primer. It gives a natural look with a very subtle radiance. Well, in the side that I didn't apply the hydrating primer and I just applied the Tarte Pore Minimizer primer right here, I see that it's more natural and even a little bit more matte. So that's on first impressions. Let me apply just a little bit more of this foundation in certain areas of my face. Like usually I do it around my cheeks because again my freckles are, you know, very present, and I don't like to cover them, but I like to camouflage them a little more. I'm not gonna do it on this side. I think it's mostly on this side because again the beauty blender kind of like absorbs most of the product. I mean, I shouldn't say most, but some of the product. Now I'm gonna be using my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Setting Powder in the shade Butter, and I'm gonna use it only to set the perimeter of my face, like this area right here, a little bit of this area right here and this area, so where I'm gonna apply my bronzer and nothing else but that. And then when I apply my concealer, I will be setting my concealer too, but I'm trying to leave as much as possible of my face without using a setting powder because I really want to see how the foundation acts without any help. And again, I'm just doing a little bit right here, here, down here. For concealer, I'm going to be using my NARS Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. And again, I'm going to be using the same powder and just set my under eyes and my eyelid for my eyeshadow. For bronzer, I'm going to be using my Fenty bronzer in the shade Private Island. Now blushes, we haven't seen any blushes yet from Fenty Beauty. For today, I'm going to be using my Hourglass Incandescent Electra Blush. For highlighter, I'm going to be using my Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Foil. This one, it is in the shade Sandcastle. I'm not going to set my face with any other setting powder or setting spray. I'm going to be doing my eye look off camera. I'm going to do something super simple. It is a family day today, so I just don't want to take too much time on that. And then I will be right back with you, show you how it's looking like right after makeup application, and then I will give you follow-ups throughout the day, so just stay tuned. Okay friends, so I'm done here with the application of my makeup, and let's see. First impressions, okay? I really love how the foundation looks like on this side of my face. I think the primer gave a really good base for the foundation to actually have more radiance. And that's the thing with me, I like radiant type of foundations. On this side of my face, it looks natural with no radiance. It is hydrating. It is not completely set, like mostly on this side where I apply the primer, but here it feels a little bit more between natural but like a soft matte of finish. It's not as natural with the radiance, and this is the side that I like, the natural with the radiance. And this side right here, again, it looks kind of like that natural soft matte kind of finish. It is very lightweight. It doesn't feel like super hydrated in the sense to be emollient, but it's just obviously it's not drying. Now on the side that I didn't apply the primer, I see that it's settling a little bit on my smile lines right here, and as well as on this side right here, just barely a little bit on my smile lines. So I don't know how long wearing this foundation will be. I will be giving you a couple updates throughout the day and let you know how the foundation is lasting and going, so that you will get to see all of that. It is right now 8:02 in the morning, so we have a long way to go, so just stay tuned. Okay friends, so it is right now 12:37 in the afternoon, and I have had this foundation for a little bit over 4 hours. It's wearing pretty nicely. As you can tell on this side, it looks a little bit more radiant. If you look right here, this area right here looks a little bit, like I said before, more natural to a soft matte, but my oils has break through, so it's start to look a little bit more radiant, I should say. And then as you can tell, the foundation has settled onto my fine lines right here, right here, right here. It has worn off a little bit right here because I ate lunch and I haven't, reached out to reapply. It has hold a little bit better on this area right here, but this area right here, it's a little, it had settled just a little. But other than that, my fine lines right here, they are not being emphasized. Okay friends, I will give you a couple other updates later on today, so just keep on watching. Okay my friends, so here I'm doing another check-in. It is right now 6:17 in the afternoon, and here's how the foundation is looking like. It's looking, I should say, pretty dewy. It has, as from the beginning, settled a little bit on my fine lines right here where I have my smile lines. Not too much on my forehead. My forehead looks pretty good. I mean, I do have fine lines right there, as you can tell, but it hasn't settled a lot. It's just mostly right here on this area. Another thing that I'm noticing, it is that it looks more filtered on the area that I applied with a brush, as well as I use the FILT'R hydrating primer. It looks actually more filtered, but it looks a little bit more on the dewer side. This side right here still looks, I mean, in comparison with this side, a little bit more soft matte, well, my oils had break through, so you can see some shine, but it is pretty much a little bit soft matte. As you can tell, it's wearing off on this area right here, this area right here. You can see that patch right there. This area right here is holding on a little better. Okay, my friends, so I will be giving you my final thoughts a little bit later on this evening, so just stay tuned. Okay, my friends, so I'm here to give you my final thoughts about these new Fenty Hydrating Foundation and the Hydrating Primer. It is right now 9 o'clock in the evening, and I have a lot of things to tell you about this foundation. It's just kind of like a roller coaster of things. So throughout the day, the foundation wore pretty well. In fact, I received a couple of compliments on how my skin looked and how my makeup looked really nice. You know, and that was nice to hear, obviously. But as the day progressed, I started noticing, from the get-go, the foundation started settling onto my smile lines. It didn't settle much right here on my forehead, but again, as the time progressed, the side where I didn't apply a pore minimizer primer, I don't know if you can see right here, but my pores, they are super enlarged. Like, they don't look so enlarged and so emphasized in real life, or like without makeup. They are there, but this is kind of like magnifying them. Now, my forehead, it's another thing too. I feel like my forehead has become, instead of hydrating, it has become drier and drier throughout the day. And at the beginning, I said that I had recovered from the dry patches that I had. I had an allergic reaction to a foundation that I tried for my channel, and I had really bad dry patches right here. Well, throughout the day, the foundation kind of, not from the beginning, but I will say after about 7 hours wear, I started seeing my dry patch that I wasn't able to even feel when I applied my foundation. So it was like, oh, the dry patches are still there. So it kind of like emphasized it instead of making it like diminish. Now, going back into the application, I ordered the two products, I ordered them online. Then today I went into the store, into Sephora store, because I was thinking to purchase the brush that came with it. After looking at it in the store, I realized that, I went to compare it with this Sephora number 56 brush. It looks very much alike. Now, this brush right here, the 56 brush, it will give you more of a light to medium coverage. Or even a true medium coverage, no more than that. So here's my recommendation. I really like how the foundation applies with a brush, this type of brush. If you use any type of, like say for example, the IT Cosmetics number 7 brush, this right here, or like a Sigma F88 brush, these right here, these are very dense. The Sigma is more dense than the number 7 brush from IT Cosmetics, so it will give you more of like medium plus coverage. And for this foundation, I will not suggest to go to pack it on, because it will just look cakey. That's what I see from this foundation, because I applied it with this type of brush, and as you can tell, it's not as dense as any of these other ones. So the application was a little bit more airy, more smooth and whatnot. Now, as far as applying it with a beauty sponge, I use my beauty blender. Now, beauty blenders have more porous. They do absorb more foundation than, for example, a Real Techniques sponge, a Morphe sponge, which I have some here. So for example, this is my Real Techniques, this is my Morphe sponge. These are like not so cushy, they are a little bit harder. This is the hardest out of all three, and the Beauty Blender is just so soft, pillowy soft. Anyhow, the foundation is not super liquidy. It has a liquid consistency, but it has some weight to it, so it will give you these very kind of like a lotiony type of sensation when you apply in your skin. So I will say that applying it with a brush, it will give you that medium coverage that you want, but in a very subtle way if you use the right brush. Okay, otherwise you can go with the Beauty Blender, but I will not suggest to build it up, because with the Beauty Blender you can go a little bit you know, overboard with it, and then again have that cakiness going on. So on my final thoughts of the foundation, I will say definitely I will need a pore minimizer primer and something that will help diminish my fine lines, because even right here the foundation started looking dry by now, and I mean, it has been such a long day. It has worn, the foundation has worn gracefully. Although I do like the hydrating primer, I think later on I may try, instead of the hydrating primer, some type of long-lasting primer. This primer right here, although it's really good and I really love how it looked at first, it just didn't add longevity. It didn't add like a locking system for the foundation. The foundation just like kind of make its way in between you know, all the crevices of my face. I know it sounds weird, but that's the way I feel about it. I think I like it, but I will be using it maybe with a combination of maybe another primer like the Tarte. I think that's something that I will try. Another way that I think it will help this foundation, it is if you set it with a nice setting powder, something that is very light. I usually do not set my face, and that's why I make these type of videos, because as we age, our signs of aging just show more, and packing too much foundation doesn't help. So lighter that you go, more naturally it looks, and your skin will look better. That's kind of like my point of view, or at least how I feel about using it on myself. So what I will say is that later on, the way that I will apply this foundation, maybe it is also setting it with a light setting powder. As you may recall, I set it a little bit on this area right here, but not on these areas right here, and that's where I see most of the movement, right on these areas right here, because this is, after all, a first impression. But I think what it will help a lot, the foundation, is actually setting it with a setting powder, and if it does look too dry or too matte, maybe go with a setting spray. So maybe I will try a couple ways and see how it works. Now, if you're a person that works 8 hours a day, I will not say this is the perfect foundation. I think it will start going downhill at about 6 hour mark. So this is more of a foundation that is just for, you know, like maybe a quick on the go, running errands and stuff like that, and maybe for, you know, a solid 4 to 5 hours for being like super good. Now, if you set it with a setting powder, it may give you that long-lasting power until, you know, like 8 hours mark. You know, I think you really will need to, you know, powder your face if you have a more combo or oily skin, because otherwise it will be like really messy. It would just move around. Now, would I say that this foundation is a total, oh no, absolutely no. I think I like the finish of the foundation. I think I need to try other methods to make it work. About the primer, I really enjoy how the primer gave to the foundation a little bit more of that radiance at the beginning, because this side right here really look a little bit more matte, and I didn't like it. It was just like, oh, yeah, I just didn't like it. But with that primer, it looked really, really pretty. Okay, my friends, so I hope this video is really helpful for you. I will highly suggest, if you have a local Sephora and before the sale starts, go to your local Sephora, get a little sample, try it on your skin, see if you like it or not. Like I said, go light-handed and kind of take it from there. Also, leave your comments down below. Let me know, have you tried this foundation yet? Are you liking it? What has been your preferred way to apply it, with other products or with the actual primer? Also, you know, when you leave your comments down below, let us know, to our little family and community, what type of skin you have, if you have dry combination skin, because all of these helps all of us to know how these products will work best. Alrighty. Now, if you like this video, once again, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also share it with somebody else that may like this type of videos. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel and ring the post notification bell so you get to know whenever I upload new videos. And now until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye!